Hey, Pastor Steve, pastor here at Princeton, and thanks for joining me on this journey as we are reconnected towards God, reoriented towards God, and reoriented towards people during this season of Lent through 6 habits we're trying to incorporate into our life. One of the things I did before COVID was eat with people. I would try to do it weekly, try to have at least 1 or 2 or 3 opportunities where during my workday I would be eating with people, whether it's eating a meal with my family at home, or at least the kids that were at home and my wife, or if it's meeting downtown, a friend of mine, to pick up something or to just check in, or meeting somewhere else, in my office, or meeting with a group of people, eating together and communicating and checking in with one another. But through the last year, that practice has really changed. I don't eat with people as often as what I used to. Instead, what I find myself doing is maybe not eating breakfast or taking a quick breakfast bar. And then during the day, instead of staying at home and eating with my family, a leisurely meal, I quick run home and either grab food, bring it back to the office, or see what I can scarf down in 15 minutes. That way I can get back to work. And that's kind of the society that we're living in right now. A society that has chosen individual productivity and our accomplishments and what we do and placed it on this pedestal that we bow down to. We're often impressed by how much someone can do in such a short amount of time, idolizing and envying levels of productivity, hoping that we too can get all that stuff done. Our schedules become so packed and so oriented that we try to use every single minute of every single day to get something done. And we don't have time to sit down and be known. And it's created a society of isolation where we're disconnected from one another. But it doesn't have to be that way. We don't have to be disconnected from community, because in fact, if we reorient our life to God, we also reorient our life to people and realize God has created us for community and relationship. God didn't create us to be machines that are only functioning on the last 15 to 20% of our reserve power for weeks on end. Instead, let's flip the script and prioritize eating with people, putting that in a priority spot on our calendar once a day so we can get to know others as they get to know us. Where we don't look at someone else and see them because they work here, there, or because they do this or that. But instead, we get to know them for who they are and who God sees them to be. You can do it in a variety of ways. Maybe you have a family at home. So maybe it's prioritizing eating with your family. Or maybe there's another way. You work at a business with coworkers, and so maybe it's inviting one of your coworkers to the table and having a meal there. Just as Jesus would invite people to his table and he would invite himself over to other people's tables, you could say, being known and letting others know him. Do that. Or maybe you know someone who's pretty lonely. They eat by themselves all the time. Maybe they're a widow or widower. Maybe they're a friend that doesn't often eat with people. What happens if you take and invite them to your table? Look forward to seeing you next week.